One, go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Wednesday, 11 o'clock Central Time. Welcome back to another live session of Q&A in the topic of debt-free acceleration. My name is Sam Kwak, one of the Kwak Brothers. If you're brand new watching this video series, welcome to you. And for those who are coming back, well, good to have you back. So this is a live video. This is a live session that we do every single week to answer your pertinent questions about debt-free acceleration, real estate investing, how it all connects. And really, you can ask any questions, anything that we talk about in the channel, and the floor is open for questions. So a little quick announcement, this is gonna be a shorter video today. We're only gonna do 30 minutes, mainly because I do have to take my wife somewhere. So we're gonna keep this video episode short. And next week, in fact, the next 3 weeks, I'll be gone to Korea and for a church mission trip. And Daniel will be here to take my place to answer questions about the debt-free acceleration / real estate investing. So Daniel will be taking my place. So I'll be gone for the next 3 weeks, but that's not gonna stop us from releasing videos Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 o'clock Central Time. So if you guys wanna get notified as to when we release our recorded videos, well, for that, you have to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as hit the bell icon for notifications. So be sure to do so if you find our videos valuable, if you find us entertaining or just good looking, great, awesome. Subscribe to the channel, and that would be very appreciating, and that would support us a lot. So the floor is open to questions as far as debt-free acceleration and or real estate investing. A couple announcements I can give you guys right now, just right off the bat, is we launched a free course on owner financing. Now, for those who don't know what owner financing is, it's a concept of being able to buy properties, whether it's rental properties or you're looking to flip a property. You can buy a property by creating an arrangement with the seller to where you make monthly payments to the seller, just like a bank, in exchange for the ownership right of that property. So it's kind of like having the seller act as a bank, and you're just paying monthly payments. And the beauty of this arrangement is that you don't have to go and use your credit, nor do you have to go through a rigorous underwriting process just like you would through a bank. So using owner financing could get around the fact that you have to use your credit, or maybe your credit is shot, or you have a short credit history. Owner financing is definitely a way around that. And it's actually one of the ways that we've been able to go from 0 rental properties to 75 units of rental properties. So we are now offering a free course on owner financing. It's about 3 hours long. You can watch it anytime. You can keep for life. And you can get access to that course at free owner financing course.com. So you guys can get the free course, no gimmicks, no catch. We're not gonna ask you for your credit card numbers, or we're not gonna, knock on your door and say, hey, you need to pay $100 for this course. We're not gonna do any of that. This course is a gift from us, the Kwak Brothers team, to you guys as a thank you gift for supporting our YouTube channel, as well as what we do around to teach others on how to invest in real estate. So be sure to take on this offer free, ownerfinancingcourse.com. Absolutely free. There's no fee, no charge. It is a very comprehensive course. We put together a lot of different resources, free downloadable guides, books, and all that. So definitely go and get access to it for free. It's a gift, and it is yours. Okay, so we have a question from Pao Cha. Pao is asking, is this the best time to pull a HELOC, sit on it, and start investing when the recession hits? Yeah, it could definitely be. Now, there's always a question mark as to what the banks will do with the HELOC. Even if you don't use it, let's say there's zero balance on your HELOC, there's still a chance that the bank can say, you know what, we're gonna pull this HELOC because the recession is terrible right now. We're gonna freeze it and we're gonna stop it. There's always that chance, okay? I'm gonna talk about the worst case scenario. I'm not here to scare you guys or anything, but I'm giving you guys a worst case scenario mainly because I want you guys to prepare for it, and I want you guys to create plan B and plan C in case plan A doesn't work out. So, Pao, to answer your question, yes, while the value of a property is very strong and very high right now, it is a good opportunity to go and pull your HELOC out, let it sit there, don't put any balance to it, don't use it. Now, of course, if you're looking to pay off your mortgage using a HELOC, then of course you got your application right there. But if you're just looking to sit on it and wait on it, you can definitely do that. What most likely will happen is your bank may shorten the limit of your home equity line of credit. So you may start off, for example, with a $100,000 home equity line of credit right now when the market's doing really well. After the recession, the bank may come and say, you know what, we're gonna go and take your $100,000 home equity line of credit and turn it into a $50,000 home equity line of credit because the times are tough. We don't want you to borrow more. We want you to stay within the bounds of your home value. So that's probably what's gonna happen if things go really, really bad. But let's not hope for it. Let's not, I guess we don't want to jinx it, right? So that could happen, but still, $50,000 of home equity line of credit could get you to a long way, especially during a recession where you probably don't even have to use a whole lot of cash to be able to buy properties, especially if you're turning them into like a subject to acquisition or owner financing, seller financing, contract for deed. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities to do creative deals during a recession because A, a lot of people are going to be distressed, and B, a lot of people are going to be motivated because times are tough. So there's a lot of creative ways to negotiate for deals, especially during the recession. And that's one of the reasons why I'll say you may not have to use a whole lot of cash during a hard time because you can get away with 2% down, 3% down, 5% down owner financing. So that's definitely a way for you to get involved, especially during the recession. Okay. Wow, we got more questions. Cool. Theodore Bernard is asking, I've been following your advice. We just paid off our house and bought another property and rented to our in-laws. Well, congratulations. Well, at least the part that you've been able to pay off your mortgage. I don't know about the in-laws, but the fact that you've been able to pay off your home, congratulations. And I'm super glad that you were able to follow our advice to do so. I like to start doing velocity banking, so we took out a $160,000 HELOC on our home. We can afford to pay back $2,000 each month in the rental home. How much of the $160,000 should we use? So when using the debt-free acceleration strategy, my recommendation is if you want to stay safe and if you don't want to over-leverage yourself, which my general advice is you shouldn't, stick with about 30 to 40% of the usage of that home equity line of credit. So use about 30 to 40% of that $160,000 limit to put you in a safe zone, and then you can use that 30 to 40% range, the chunk, and apply it to the principal portion of your mortgage on the rental property, and then, or in this case, it'd be your original home, and then start chunking it and paying it off and using our strategy. Now, for those who are like thinking, what the heck's going on here? Like, what is he talking about? We do have a strategy called the debt-free acceleration strategy. If you're curious about it, if you want to learn more about the strategy, I'm gonna actually write down a link to a video that you can watch. It's about 25 minutes long. It's an explanation video of this strategy on how to pay off your mortgage within 5 to 7 years on average, using a HELOC. And this involves in not making more money and not having to cut back on expenses. So this is a phenomenal way to pay off your debt, as well as give you lots of liquidity so that you can do what Powell is doing, buying rental properties during the recession or during an opportune time. So if you want to watch that video, you go to debtfreeaccelerator.com/video. So go to debtfreeaccelerator.com/video, watch this complimentary 25-minute video where I'm gonna explain how the strategy works. And then I'll even offer you guys to download a calculator and an ebook to show you guys how this all works absolutely for free as a gift. So go to debtfreeaccelerator.com/video to watch that 25-minute explanation video. And I think you're gonna get more understanding, especially if you have never watched any of our other videos or if you have no idea what we're talking about here. So go and watch that video and come back. You're probably better off going to that video first before rather than sticking around, because you have no idea what we're talking about here. We're gonna be talking in like Navajo code language, and you will not understand any of it. So go definitely check out the debtfreeaccelerator.com/video and watch the 25-minute explanation video. It's gonna help you a lot to understand what's going on. So the next question I see here is, I got $70,000 second position HELOC, and the banker said that I cannot do payroll direct deposit. How can I implement the mortgage and debt elimination strategy? So JW, to answer your question, one thing you can do is this method. I'm gonna draw out an illustration, okay? So this is your paycheck source, okay? And I'm gonna use a different marker for this one. okay? Your paycheck, now obviously the most optimal way to do this is take your paycheck, your direct deposit, your ACH, and go straight into the HELOC. Now that's the optimal, that's like the most best case scenario. Now, if that doesn't work, your banker says, sorry, we don't have that feature available, well, we gotta go with the second best alternative is go with, instead of a direct deposit into the HELOC, you'll have to deposit into a checking account and then just deposit into the HELOC. So it is a two-step process, or if you have an automated transfer, it would just be a manual transfer. And a lot of times you can do the transfer using your phone, your app, and it takes a couple seconds to do it. I know it's still a hassle, but this is probably gonna be the best way to do it. One thing that you can do is link your checking account and your HELOC as an overdraft protection. It's a terrible chain. I was gonna draw a chain there, but didn't come out to look like a chain. This is probably gonna be better. There we go. So you can link your HELOC and your checking account into one. One thing that you could ask your banker is can I do what's called a sweep into the HELOC? So you can ask to see if you can set up a checking account and have an automated sweep from checking to the HELOC automatically, okay? Now, when you need that money out of the HELOC, what you can do is you can set up an overdraft protection so that when the checking account is zero, okay, and you're spending money out of your checking account, it will automatically pull the money from the HELOC and transfer it to your checking account and pay for whatever the item that you're looking to pay off. So if you want this to be a little bit more automated, you can ask your banker to do what's called automated sweep every night. They may charge you a fee for it, but it's obviously more of a convenience thing. And then you can set up a overdraft protection where if you spend money out of the checking account while it's at zero, it'll just automatically pull the money out of the HELOC to cover whatever expenses. So that's probably gonna be the most automated way to do it if you don't have a bank that allows you to do a direct deposit directly into the HELOC. This is probably gonna be the arrangement that's gonna be best fit for you, okay? Theodore Bernard is asking also, what are your thoughts on recasting? So I'm not exactly sure the terminology that you're using, recasting. That's something that I had to research and find out what's going on. I'll be straight and be honest with you. I don't know what that means. So I'll do some research as to what that means, and I'll get back with you when I get back to from Korea. I'll give you an explanation of my thoughts, and I'll give you my opinion on it. But unfortunately, I don't know about this, so I apologize. I'll do my research. Okay. Kelly Sakai is asking, hey Kelly, how's it going? All the way from Hawaii. Your thoughts on getting a HELOC to do a build versus a construction loan. Property is F/C. So you technically, I don't think you can get a HELOC on a construction. You can get what's called construction line of credit. It's rare. A lot of huge development companies use the construction line of credit to better manage their cash flow. So that's something that you can get. I don't know if they even offer this to consumers. So this is something that you may have to ask to your banks or banker or a mortgage broker to see if anyone they know offer what's called a construction line of credit or a development line of credit. So unfortunately, you cannot get a HELOC on a new construction or build. But find out if you can get a construction line of credit. And a lot of times construction line of credits are smaller or they're shorter in terms of the amount of time that you can use it. So they'll give you like 5 years of a draw period, and then you have to pay it back. I believe it's a 10 or 15-year draw payback that you have to do. So do ask around for the construction line of credit. It's rare. Not a lot of consumers have it, mainly because these construction line of credits are like massive, like $1 million line of credit. So that's something to ask around. But it is possible to get a line of credit on a construction or a new build, okay? Dave Schultz is asking, I have found a triplex I want to buy, but I don't have an LLC yet. Is there any reason I shouldn't buy it and hire a rental company to manage it before I have LLC to use for rentals? So you don't necessarily have to have an LLC. Again, I'm not an attorney, which is something that I actually thought about lately. It's a silly thought, is actually getting an attorney, becoming an attorney essentially, taking the bar exam and doing all that. I think it was my mom that suggested it. She's like, hey, you should go be an attorney. Go through law school and get your bar exam out of the way and become an attorney. And I'm like, well, I don't know, it's a lot of work. I just want to focus on what I love to do is marketing and real estate investing. But anyway, as far as getting an LLC, one of the main reasons why people get an LLC in the first place is for the liability protection, legal protection. And I suggest that you do. That's just my default suggestion. Again, this is not any legal advice that I'm giving out here, but my suggestion is if the LLC is there for the protection, legal protection. You don't have to have it again, but one thing that you can do is buy it and have the LLC set up at the closing. So this is something that my attorney does is I put something under the contract, and on the contract I use the buyer name. So if I'm the buyer, I put the buyer name as such and such LLC to be. Okay, so I don't have the LLC yet, but I can say, hey, Sam Kwak LLC to be formed. Okay, just letting the seller / the title company know that I am gonna buy this, but I'm gonna establish an LLC before I close. So once you have the closing date set, let's say the closing date's 30 days from now, and we're certain that we're gonna close, I'm gonna have my attorney set up my LLC for me, and along with the operating agreement and so on. So you can set it up that way, where your attorney does your LLC for you while he or she also drafts up all the closing documents as well as working with the title company to help you close the property. So that's something you can do. That way you kind of get everything out of the way at one stroke of legal payment or legal bill. So that's what I do for closing and establishing an LLC whenever I buy a new property. Okay. All right. I don't see any other question, and we are going to keep this episode short, so we got 12 more minutes. Again, for those who are wondering why are we keeping this episode short, I do need to take my wife to an appointment, and she doesn't have a ride, so I got to make sure I take care of her. But I'm going to go and answer as much question I can in the next 12 minutes. I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but we will be back next Monday, Daniel being here for real estate investing Q&A. And what we are gonna work on is getting the phone line back on, but it probably won't happen for another few months. So we are gonna work on that. So stay tuned, where you're gonna be able to call back in. I really don't know how to say this name, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna butcher your name here. Niduvo. Okay, I'm terrible with names. Sorry. The question is, what do you think about putting more money on retirement annuity versus flip property? What are the risks? The second question is, I bought property for $850,000, now is worth $950,000. Should I ask for an extra $100,000 to use for flip? So let's go and tackle the first question. What do you think about putting more money into retirement annuity versus fix and flip? To be honest with you, my niche and my specialty is in real estate investing. I really don't know a whole lot about annuities nor stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. I really don't know a whole lot. I know the basics of how they work, but to be honest, I can't give you all the little tiny details and the mechanics of what you should do with it and what you should invest in with it. So I don't know if this is going to be a fair answer, mainly because I don't know a whole lot about stocks, bonds, and other traditional retirement vehicle. But what I can tell you about real estate investing in general is that real estate investing gives you more control, whereas with stocks, bonds, mutual funds, some of these traditional investment, the control, you don't really have much of it. When you buy stocks, you're sort of at the mercy of the company, right? The common stock that you're buying. So if I buy stocks, Apple stocks, for example, I'm at the mercy of what Apple does to make the stocks more valuable. So if Apple tanks and they decide, our phone business is terrible, we're gonna close our phone department and that's it, well, then I lose my value, I lose my wealth in terms of what I hold in Apple stocks. But if Apple does really, really well, I become wealthier. So my control as far as what I can manipulate and what I can do to increase my wealth, I don't really have much control when it comes to stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. So that's why I don't like investing in some of the traditional vehicle. I prefer to invest in real estate, which is something that I can directly control. One way that I can directly control a fix and flip is I can decide what cabinet I can put in, I can decide what flooring to add in, what tile, what carpet to put in to make the property value more. I can forcefully appreciate the property by doing some of these improvements to the property. So that's something that I can control, that's a decision that I can make, and I can become wealthier and I can make more money simply by controlling the different assets and aspects of investing in real estate. That's what I like about real estate investing more so than some of the traditional vehicles out there. The second question that this individual asked is, I bought property $850 and is now $950. Should I get that $100,000 used for flip? Now, my thing is that you shouldn't leverage overextendively, and this is a question that we answered earlier before about how much of HELOC should you use. So my general advice is to not leverage over 75% loan to value if you can help it. So if your home value is worth $100,000, let's say, and you already have a debt of $60,000, my philosophy is just borrow $15,000, no more, okay? Just to play safe in case the recession comes around, when the market tanks, you don't want to be caught with your pants down, quote unquote, not literally, right? But in all seriousness, play safe, don't over leverage yourself, don't put too much debt on yourself. It's not necessarily, I know we're taking out debt to make money, but it's still better that you protect yourself and you protect the downside of what could happen, and just hope for the best, okay? JW is asking, if I only access $10,000 on my HELOC and my monthly income deposit is $15,000, can I deposit more than what I've gotten with the understanding my monthly expenses is $6,000? Yeah, sure, you can do that. You can always, you're gonna have to chunk a little bit faster, meaning every month you're basically be putting $10,000 chunk into the mortgage, which can be tedious, but yeah, sure, it could definitely work. And you're probably not gonna pay, close to any interest on the HELOC, mainly because you're gonna wipe the balance out of the HELOC really, really fast. And you'll be surprised how much balance you can wipe out HELOC, and you're not gonna have a whole lot of average daily balance, so you're probably not gonna pay hardly any interest on your HELOC if you do it this way, because you're wiping out the HELOC balance pretty much every month, and there's really not much time that the interest is accumulating on your HELOC. So yeah, this is gonna still work. It's just you're gonna have a lot more steps and tediousness to it. Okay. So Jesus Zamora has responded to JW saying, I don't think you can deposit more than you took out. So yeah, so you cannot deposit more than $10,000. Obviously, that's the limit. Now what you can do is try to get a bigger limit or a limit that matches your income every month. So you can do it that way, but I don't think you can have a negative balance on your HELOC. I don't think banks will let you do that, and I don't think they'll be happy with that either. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, JW. Okay, all right, we got 5 more minutes until we close the show off. Again, this is a short episode today, mainly because I have other personal obligations. So let's go and tackle 1 or 2 more questions, and then we'll wrap it up for this week. Couple videos that are gonna come out in the next few weeks. We have close to 5 weeks of videos that we've queued up, and they're ready to go. We have a video on how and why the banks will freeze your HELOC. That's a good topic. So that video is going to be released sometime in the next 2 weeks. So if you want to get notified when that video comes out, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well as hit the bell icon so that you get notified when that video is released. We'll also talk about how to raise capital for real estate, how to use other people's money, and Daniel is going to talk about how he's raising $10 million of capital to buy properties and what his plans are to do with it. So those videos are all coming out in the next 5 weeks. You definitely don't want to miss any of it, so subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you get notified, okay? All right, so I don't see any other questions from here. I'll take one more question and we'll wrap up the show. A couple of things that I do want to mention as far as going into the summer, guys, is be on the lookout, and I believe the recession already has quote unquote started. We just really haven't felt the effect yet, but I think we're gonna start to feel the effects in 2020. I think the recession technically has started. We haven't felt the actual effects yet. It's kind of like once an object is in motion, okay, even though it stopped accelerating, it's still moving because there's that momentum, right? So I believe that recession has been triggered. It's happening, but we're still in that momentum of the economy doing really, really well. So once that momentum slows down and it starts to go the other way, I think that's where we're going to start to experience, oh my gosh, it's a recession. The value is going down, and I think we're going to start to experience that. Another thing is, I do want to ask you guys for video suggestion. So if you guys have any video suggestions, do send us an email asking us to do specific videos. We only do these videos only when there's a demand for it. We don't go off and create any random videos. We do a lot of research to the topics that we do. So if you can help us out by creating new topics as well as any videos that you want us to cover, please send us an email. I'll go and write the email down here, which is info@thekwakbrothers.com. There we go. Go to email us any topic ideas, any videos that you want us to cover. We'll be happy to review and consider topics, and we'll definitely put it to use. So help us to help you guys. This will help us tremendously in coming up with new ideas. I'm gonna be gone for the next 3 weeks, so hopefully this little break will help me, give me some new creative juice as to what to create and what type of new topics that we can sort of unveil in our YouTube channel. So I don't see any other question. I will end this short today, guys. I appreciate and love every single one of you guys being on board, and I thank you so much for tuning in. Next Monday, Daniel will be back right here at 11 o'clock Central Time to continue our conversation about real estate investing. And Wednesday, Daniel will take my place as I'm gonna be gone for the next 3 weeks. So guys, thank you so much for your support, being here, watching every week, and be sure to tune in for new videos coming out tomorrow. All right, take care and have a great day.